is a Bramble Jam podcast.
Welcome to Girls Gone Hallmark, a Hallmark review podcast. I'm Megan, and I'm a longtime Hallmark movie fan.
I'm Wendy. I'm a former Hallmark hater.
Today, we're discussing A Dance in the Snow, which originally premiered on Thursday, December 5th on Hallmark Mystery. Hey, we're a good time on Instagram, and you should follow us there, where we are Girls Gone Hallmark.
We've put some fun stuff out there lately.
Wendy's dancing. You might be able to still see that story if you're listening to this early enough.
Oh my goodness. Come join our Facebook group. It's a good time. Girls Gone Hallmark in Facebook groups.
I have some feedback and some Hallmark news to get into.
Okay.
First, the very first of the Countdown to Christmas linear, and for those unfamiliar with the lingo, linear means like cable programming, non-streaming, movie has made its way to Hallmark Plus.
Oh, which was it?
Confessions of a Christmas Letter is the first.
I have some news about that movie.
Tell me.
I was recently in Canada.
Yes.
And we stopped in Langley, where they film a ton of things, right? Coincidentally, I'm with my 16-year-old daughter, who has this friend that she talks to over the internet. I know I sound 100 years old right now. He grew up there in Langley, and they filmed that movie in his house last summer.
Wow, that's so cool.
Isn't that weird?
That's a real small world situation.
He said they moved out for a month so they could film that movie in his childhood home in Langley.
That's cool.
So weird.
Some more viewing news. Let's throw back to a Merry Thanksgiving weekend. Holiday Touchdown, A Chief's Love Story, scored 2.87 million live viewers. That does beat Three Wiser Men and a Boy. Christmas Quest on Sunday, keeping in mind Chris Palaha, Lacey Chabert, two of the best on Hallmark, brought in 1.57 million live viewers, half of A Bit More Christmas, airing in the exact same time slot the previous year. I think we are seeing a slow death of cable programming.
Oh, for sure.
And me personally, just put it all on Hallmark Plus. We wrote an article about it, but I think what's happening is people are like, wait, where do I watch this?
Yeah, nobody knows where to find these movies at.
Yes. Like even my neighbor, who by the way is a pilot, like a smart dude, like he can get a plane across the country and is like, wait, I don't know where to watch these. Like we have Hallmark Plus. I'm like, no. But we don't have cable. Well, you're going to go to Peacock, but you got to go within like 3 days, or you got to get Friendly, or you need to streamline, because most of your audience is an older, less tech savvy audience.
Hallmark needs to work some things out in 2025.
We need to make it a little bit easier
for their viewers. Yes, agree. Again, I think Hallmark really dropped the ball in promotion for the Christmas Quest movie.
They fumbled
with promotion on all their other movies. They put all their eggs in one basket in this football movie. And like, I get that some people loved it. It was not for me.
Yeah, but Dave, it doesn't even matter if people liked it or not. The point is, other movies suffered as a result.
Absolutely.
And not other throwaway movies.
One of the best movies of the entire year aired this weekend, and there was very little promotion for it.
I actually think this past weekend was real solid. I have a DM from Daniel Koenig, the production designer on Christmas Quest. Speaking of Christmas Quest. And we had asked, what's happening in this magical cave where all the candles are lit? And you had said, I think the Yule Lads did it.
It's magical.
So he said, to set the story straight about the candles, it is magical. It's the Icelandic equivalent of them finding the North Pole and Santa Claus. The Yule Lads are a living legend. It wouldn't be some sad artifact. It's magical. Here's what our set decorator stated, who is pure Iceland, and she grew up on tales of the Yule Lads. Well, the Yule Lads still come there to relax, eat cookies, play chess and cards, read books, and dance to Christmas records. Maybe they just missed them. The lights in Iceland are never turned off, and heat is always on with windows open. So that is straight from the production designer's mouth. All right, we are going to get into A Dance in the Snow with a synopsis.
Melanie wants to create an inclusive Christmas dance for her daughter Ginny, not realizing Ginny is planning a dance of her own to honor Melanie.
A Dance in the Snow was directed by Stefan Skaney. Stefan has 73 directing credits, which include The Dancing Detective, A Deadly Tango, and Perfect Harmony for Hallmark recently.
Perfect Harmony.
It's a couple years old. I intentionally pulled those two because they're dance music related.
Got it. Emily Schmidt and Ryan Smith wrote the teleplay for this movie. Emily also gets the story credit for A Dance in the Snow. This is her third writing credit. Her previous movies are Raise a Glass to Love and Beverly Hills Wedding. Beverly Hills Wedding. I love that movie. This is Ryan Smith's very first writing credit.
Erica Serra stars as Mom Melanie. Erica has 53 acting credits, last appearing in Mystery on Mistletoe Lane for Hallmark.
Hold on. I wrote phonetically how to say it.
Did you go back to our old DMs?
No, I forgot that we had asked him.
Oh, listen. Ready?
Ganime.
Ganime. Mark Ganime plays favorite teacher Daniel. Mark plays Dr. Cameron on Virgin River, a show I don't watch, but somebody said Hallmark, but spicier.
Spicy-ish.
Okay, we last saw him grace our Hallmark screens in last year's To All a Good Night as part of his 44 acting credits.
Vanessa Burkhart plays Jenny. Vanessa is a neurodivergent actress with 4 acting credits, including Cha-Cha Real Smooth, a role for which she received 3 award nominations.
Nadine Whiteman plays Vicky. Nadine has 66 acting credits and was last seen in Hallmark's 2020 Heart of the Holidays. She spent a lot of time working on Lifetime, and to that we say, Hallmark, go get your girl.
I was a little disappointed to find that Nadine was not credited on IMDb, and I had to hunt down the credits of the movie. Like, I had to go rewatch the opening credits to figure out
All season long.
was Vicky. I was like, justice for Vicky. Dorian Giordano plays Will. Dorian has 14 acting credits, and while this is his first appearance on Hallmark, it's not his first holiday movie. He appeared in Reindeer Games Homecoming on Lifetime, a movie starring Sarah Drew. With that, we are going to take a very quick break and come right back with our first impressions. It's time for first impressions. Wendy, what's your first impression of A Dance in the Snow? Oh, gosh.
I have to get through it without laughing. In the words of the great Van Halen, I've got it bad, so bad, I'm hot for teacher.
I did not bring it with my first impression, which is simply, I think we're coming at this from 2 very different angles. My first impression is, I called my first impression 2 months ago when I said this movie was gonna make me cry.
Oh, yes, you're right. It absolutely did. But I can't help but be mesmerized. Max Medina vibes.
Yeah.
A little bit. Where are my Gilmore Girls?
Okay, Wendy's talking about Mark Ganime.
I won't say his name because I'm going to butcher it again. But like, I'm sorry.
I know, but what's so funny is you posted on our Instagram, you're like, justice for Mark Ganime, get him a lead role. He is the lead.
On Hallmark.
This is Hallmark.
This is Hallmark Movies and Mysteries.
Oh. Because he responded. Did you see?
Yeah,
he was like,
I didn't understand it quite.
Ladies, I am the lead. That's not what he said, but he's like, I'll let you gals pick it for me.
I don't understand his response. I wasn't quite clear in what I posted. This man needs to be on like the main channel. 2 years now. You're on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries on a Thursday night.
All right. I appreciate that clarification because I was like, he is the lead. But yeah, move him over. Give him lead billing on the big show.
Yes, that's what I meant.
I appreciate that clarification. Thank you. So obviously we're a big fan of Teacher. Mm-hmm. I was happy to see him back on screen. What can I say?
Me too. And I know he's busy on like Virgin River. And
yeah, he's working. It's not like he's not doing anything. But other leads, I really loved Erica Serra.
So did I. This is in my likes. I just want to take a moment. I have read negative IMDb reviews about her. And
in this movie?
Her voice in particular.
Her voice is my favorite thing about her.
Same. And I also listened to a review of this movie where they said like she sounded like she had a sore throat. I think this is just her
No, because that's how she talks throughout the movie.
dark, sexy voice. It's rich and warm. I like it.
I do too.
On IMDb, somebody was like, she has the worst vocal fry.
It's
I was
not
like,
vocal fry. That's her voice. I love it. I like her voice. So, GTFO. I think they're a great pairing. Visually, they look really nice together. They had a lot of great on-screen chemistry. I liked Erica Serra playing the role of a mom to a teenager. I thought she played that role really well.
What was her last movie? Was it Mystery on Mistletoe Lane? She was
She had
a mom to
teenagers there.
teenagers there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Wowie Zowie Victor Webster.
That's right.
I really liked them together.
So did I.
It was a nice pairing.
Great pairing.
I think I would like to point out that I am very much appreciate that the two lead teen roles were both played by neurodivergent actors.
Yeah.
Because that's real sticky if it's not.
Yeah. Chandler Massey. Remember he was in that movie?
I very much remember that. That was a swing and a miss. And I didn't hate the movie, but I hated the casting choice. But
Yeah.
we have to be careful here about representation in casting.
Yes, I agree. And I thought it was well done.
Yeah, I just noticed my note says we welcomed Mark Ganame to the Wowie Zowie Club last year, and it's safe to say his membership has been renewed.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, that's a fun idea to do on the ye old Instagram.
Yeah.
Who's up for renewal this year?
Another thing I like about this movie is we have two romantic storylines. However, the real love story here, sorry to get sappy, is definitely between the mom and the daughter. I'm not parenting a neurodivergent teen, but I am parenting two teenagers, one of whom is applying to college. And I think a lot of what she's going through in terms of letting go and making sure your children are set up to be launched into the world is very relatable.
Sure. What I thought in terms of Melanie and Jenny, and I was so happy that the writers went there with it. When they find out about the two dances, right? Jenny is pissed, and rightly so, because Melanie, her mom, while her heart in the right place, was not listening to Jenny.
Yeah, she said, I don't want to go.
And I think that, as parents to teenagers, you and I can probably really relate to this moment here because in our minds, we just want our children to have an experience like we had. And so I think that's what Melanie was trying to recreate for Jenny.
Yeah, or experiences that we missed that we want our children to have.
Exactly. And then Jenny's like, yo, I don't want that.
Trust me to know my own life.
Oh my God. It just was good. Parent of a neurodivergent child or not, it was a good lesson that they shared here in this movie.
Yeah. Also, if anybody has ever been on a PTA, please know that you are seen in this movie because the PTA representation was on point.
Totally.
Like trying to make changes to a program that has been in place. Good luck.
Yeah. The rage I felt watching this as a mom who has served on the PTA, I know I'm looking at one too. When you try to make any suggestion that is outside of what they've done for the last 10 years.
Dude, our school had a father-daughter dance.
Yes.
And I was like, hey, what if we just make this a parent-child dance? For many, many reasons.
And were you met with resistance on that?
Yeah, they didn't get rid of it. They were like, but they love the dance. And then one of them was like, well, someone's always going to be excluded from something. And I thought, well, what a wild thing that we have the opportunity to make that not happen here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't even have children. This was an elementary school thing. And all of that elementary school PTA rage just like built up in me.
Yep.
And then when she's like, but the kids love the strobe lights. I was like, no, they don't.
Yeah. I just was like, the PTA, I don't miss it.
It's frustrating because like the idea, she's like, I'm just trying to make it inclusive for all. And they're like, yeah, that sounds like a lot more work than we want to put into this.
Yeah. Yeah, it was on point. Job well done by the writers here.
I have a couple small likes here. One is Jenny's wardrobe is so freaking cute.
It's in my Did You See That? But I'm going to show you right now. hold on a second.
Okay.
Does this sweater look familiar?
Oh, where is that from?
My teenage daughter has the exact same sweater that Jenny was wearing in this movie.
It's so cute.
It's a pink sweater with flowers on it. I don't know. She bought it online somewhere.
It's real cute.
And it was in my Did You See That's. Yeah, bravo to the costume or wardrobe person who was sourcing outfits that teenagers actually wear.
Yeah, I thought she was real cute. Her green swirly dress from the first dance and her sweater is real cute. Another small thing I liked, when we have text messaging, they include the voices reading the text.
Smart.
Now, I have two things to say about that. One, I have old eyes, and there's another movie that came out this weekend where I could not read the text messages on screen because the text was too small.
Yeah.
And I wonder, did it speak to the fact that like we have a representation inclusivity vibe here? Were they more aware of that? Like, hey,
I hope.
not everyone's going to be able to catch that visual cue. Let's add an auditory piece to it so it's more inclusive for everybody. Or it was just well done because it did give me You've Got Mail vibes, because when they're like reading each other's text messages, like it comes through in their voices, like they're reading it out loud.
Yeah.
Not their text messages, their emails. Yep. And finally, on inclusivity, look, you and I love a silent disco. Like we had so much fun.
Heck yeah.
But that is such a smart way to be inclusive at a dance because kids can like choose their own volume. They can choose to like tap out at any reason. And I'm not just talking about neurodivergent kids. Like dances can be very overstimulating.
Yeah.
And I know people that do those for their high school dances.
I think it's so fun. It's a missed opportunity.
What else did you like?
A couple of things. I enjoyed the feel-good ending between Melanie and Daniel. I loved that it wasn't like a I love you situation. It was like, hey, you're going to be free. Come to Paris with me. Let's hang out, basically.
Yeah.
I was super down with that. And I loved, you mentioned it early, but Will and Jenny's sweet little romance. It was like a nice, sweet, natural teenage progression. Like, how do you say it? And their little kiss at the end. I just loved it.
Me too.
Sometimes I feel weird if I'm watching like a romance unfold between teenagers.
Yeah, but it was very sweet and subtle. It wasn't like you're watching something on like HBO Max or Netflix where it gets a little
Sex
like...
Lives of College Girls.
At least they're adults. I'm talking about like Ginny and Georgia.
Yeah,
where she's
yeah,
like 15 years old. I'm like, oh God, this isn't... I should... No. Euphoria.
That's a rough watch, guys.
No, I'm certain everybody participating in those shows are adults, but they're portraying teenagers. So let's talk wishes.
I don't have that many. The big one is the 2 dance drama. Like I thought, this is it. This is like what's the movie word?
The climax.
This is the climax. The 2 dances. I thought it was going to be about Jenny wanting independence and moving to California. I thought that was like kind of a more interesting.
Yeah, but don't you think the dance is kind of a metaphor for that? Like the mom realizing,
Oh, sure. I guess.
like she cannot control the world for her daughter.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. You're right. The other wish I had, the kids in the English class were so super into it. The poem reading and the all that. I just don't think high school kids are that engaged in English class.
I mean, if that's your teacher, look, I had the same teacher my 9th and 11th grade for English and was the single-handedly most influential teacher I had in high school, Mr. Barrett. I also had him for Latin for 2 years. Mr. Barrett was no Daniel.
Oh, yeah.
So I think if you have someone who loves what they teach,
Yeah, it does make the kids feel a certain way, right?
come on.
I know, but it just was like, okay. Oh, and Melanie reads the poem at the dance. Nope, you are not stopping the...
Yeah, kids are not that supportive.
No, they're not.
I agree with you there. My wishes are just comments. They're not even wishes. One is when they're at the first dance and it starts snowing inside, her mom's like, I should have seen that coming. And quite frankly, I don't think it's super unreasonable to find snow indoors at a dance an unexpected turn of events. Like she should have seen the snow coming. She should have known they were going to have snow inside.
I mean,
That is an outdoor activity.
yeah.
That snow is made of soap. Now you have a slip hazard on that
you're
gym
right.
floor.
You're right.
I don't think so. And also in regards to the snow, they live in a place that snows regularly that has got to be very hard to navigate when you have a child who is terrified of falling snow.
You think that they would have moved already.
There is snow on the ground. Yeah, I am shocked that her mother has not.
Yeah, because how do you
Picked up and
navigate that?
relocated.
Like, oh, it's snowing today and you need to go to school. So what are we going to do? Stay home all day? Like,
Yeah,
do
how have
you
they been
function?
navigating all this time? Because it was when she was a child that
Good
she had
point.
this trauma.
Good point. I'm surprised they didn't move to Florida.
Yeah, they should already live in California where she wants to go to school.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you see that?
I have a few.
Okay.
One, again, I said Jenny's sweater. The second one is at the top of the movie when they show the dance, and even in the barn at the end, the kids are dancing. Kids, high school kids, if you don't have a teenager right now, that's not how they dance at
They just
dances
jump.
anymore. When I was in high school, back in the dark ages, like it was, you were not allowed to like grind on other people, right? Like,
Yeah, but people dance. There was actual, you would call it dancing.
yeah, but remember it was like very like taboo. Like your bodies could not be touching.
Sure.
So it's funny now to see like the kids dance. They don't dance like that now. It's literally a mosh pit basically.
That's all they do. They just jump.
And they come out and they sweaty and they stink.
Yeah.
And there was none of that happening.
Do you know that my children's high school does not play slow songs at their dances?
No, same at mine.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, it's so weird to me. It's really funny when you watch movies that illustrate school dances. So like in the 80s, there was a lot of like all those John Hughes movies, right? There was
Yeah.
so much dancing with the big prom hair and the whole like,
Wendy's doing like a straight arm.
I'm coupling up with your dance, right? And then like in the like late 90s, 2000, it was a lot of like ride that pony sort of.
Yeah, and flash mobs.
Yes, flash
Lots of like
mobs.
group dance
Yes.
situations
And
where
now-
everyone seems to know the dance.
And now, in 10 years, we're going to see like a representation of.
But maybe we won't because it's not fun to watch. It's not fun to recreate on camera, like the
Kids
way
just
kids
jumping
behave.
and
So they're
being
just going to
crazy.
be like, we're going to pretend like that never happened.
Who wants to dance like that at a school dance in a cute dress and heels? Mind you, they're not wearing heels usually. They're in tennis shoes, these girls too.
Like, did you see that's when they're unpacking the stockings from the box, the personalized stockings are very clearly foam letters on these knit stockings, like foam stickers. And finally, I have many college related. Did you see that's from this week's movie? And my favorite is Teacher Danielle saying, I'll have that letter of recommendation for you today.
Yeah,
And then
right.
LOL. I was like, haha. First of all, that's everyone's favorite teacher in this school. He's got a list of recommendations a mile long, and they're not writing it in the same day.
I have one more. Did you see that?
Okay.
I think we're supposed to infer here, but Melanie is like, man, we didn't get the foosball table for the dance because the party place is like booked it out already. And then in the next scene at the dance that Jenny is planning,
Yeah.
her friend's like, look what I got. I got the last one. It's not foosball, it's cornhole.
Yeah.
So I'm like, are we supposed to like?
I did bump on that. Yeah. It did seem like we were supposed to infer that Jenny's dance got the foosball table away from the others, but they don't make that connection.
Correct.
What did you rate A Dance in the Snow?
Hey, you know what? I didn't hate this movie. I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. I give it 4 stars.
Me too. Yeah, this was honestly a solid weekend. Thank you for listening to this episode of Girls Gone Hallmark, a Bramble Jam podcast. If you love this podcast, take a minute, open that Apple Podcast app, leave this podcast 5 stars. And if you have even more seconds, tap out a review, letting everybody know why you love it. We will see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
All right, friends, before we go, just a quick heads up. You're about to hear some ads. These little gems help us keep the show running and the Hallmark love flowing. So do with that info what you will. Grab a snack, hit the skip button, or maybe, just maybe, listen in and discover your new favorite product. Bye.